I would go on ski trips with my all of my cousins on my dad's side of the family, and myself and my little brother were the babies. And I was maybe like 11 or 12 or something, and I had Spinrilla, which is that like illegal music download app, and there I could get Frank Ocean's first mixtape. I could get Nostalgia Ultra, and I downloaded it, and I was going down the mountain by myself, so young, with like my like little headphones, and I was listening to There Will Be Tears, and as I was going down the mountain, I can like look at it from the outside right now, of being like a kid who was so stressed out and so misunderstood and so judgmental of every thought I had. I was so mean to myself, and I was going down the mountain and I was listening to that song, and I was like, literally nothing else matters to me. It also was a moment that I was like, music is such a big part of my life, because I was sobbing. But to me, like, that was the most cathartic experience I've had to date. And so that's why I wrote Colorado, because it's like my like safe haven. I was always like, I want to write a song about like Colorado, and then Evan Blair, who's the producer, I was like, can you play something like kind of like scrappy on guitar that just has some like space, but the chords are like a little emotional so that the lyrics can all be kind of fun. And then he just started playing don't, and I was like, I think my life may be better if I lived in Colorado. I think it's been my perspective since I was a baby. Since like the thoughts I can remember, I've always been like, I just want to move to the middle of nowhere and not speak to anyone ever again. But I know that's not what I should be doing, and that's not what like my heart actually wants to do. Like, I can't do this from Boulder. Probably not. I mean, if you can, just let me know, but I don't think I can. So yeah, I mean, I guess the thought is just like, we all want to leave. In the Kitchen took forever and 5 years. But it basically started because a couple people on my team had been like, you need to dig deeper, you da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I was like, you guys. And they were right, and so I sat down at the piano in my house, and I was listening to Camera Roll by Casey Musgraves, which is one of my best songs, and in my opinion, one of the best songs ever written, because I love how intricate everything is and how specific it all is. And so there's this very sweet spot that I think is very few and far between in songs, that is like my life goal to be able to accomplish, that is so like gutting without feeling like there is a victim. And that to me was like everything in the Kitchen, because I was like, I am not a victim of this situation, nor is the other human being. This is just a situation that has happened. Therefore, I will pinpoint the specifics of this situation and make you feel everything I am going through without even having to say on the nose. I'll say that I want to, dance with your ghost in the living room and play the piano alone, but actually what that means is I'm mourning someone that I thought I knew, and I am laying in my bed being like, what is going on? But I'm not going to say that, I'll say the other thing. It's this very like calculated linguistic way of saying like, I will not give up any power in this situation, but wow, what a shame. And that to me is all I want to do in my life, because I don't ever want to let anybody have power over me, and it's very difficult not to. But in that situation, I am really proud of myself that I didn't. And so that's where In the Kitchen came from. So we first cut the demo for about 3 hours, and then I went to the studio around 11, and we cut the song until 3 in the morning. And then I went home, and then we said, oh my God, we've cut the song to the wrong BPM. And I said, you're literally kidding me. Let's just go in and do it all over again. So when we got In the Kitchen back, I freaked out. That is just what I do. I get a mix back, I get a bounce back, I get anything back, and my immediate response is, this is terrible, we can no longer go with this song, this is awful. Who wrote this? It was me. I just always like really detest what I do, and I think it's a sort of like defense mechanism. And then I loved it, and now it's my favorite song. So it just like takes some time. You will be so insanely grateful for the breakup moment that you were afraid of. But like, no situation will ever get the best of you the way you think it is, especially in like heteronormative relationships. Like, I tried to mold myself to something that is not accurate to me, nor was healthy for me. And I gotta say, I'm very proud of who I am right now. I have a long way to go, and I have so much that I f up all the time, but I'm so proud of myself. And if you asked me to say that when I was 18, I would have started crying and said I couldn't do it. And I can do that now. What song reminds you of your childhood? Bootylicious. Because my mom always used to sing it to me when I would get sad. Like, she was like, this is like your sort of like hype up. She'd be like, sing it. And I'd be like, no. She'd be like, sing it. You know. What song do I like to listen to before a night out with friends? There's two very different ones. A, anything on Kesha's discography, which I made us listen to the other night. B, Rapp, the song Rapp. Okay, it has a lot of people on it, specifically for Frank Ocean's verse, because he doesn't rap in a lot of stuff, but the sleep with the grass, Teddy, quick with the Teddy, quick with the hands, ready, please, was like the ideal verse of me in high school. Not me, but like my friends and I loved it, because he just has such a sexy voice. That's like my favorite artist, and that verse is just crazy, so I would listen to that all the time. Please don't touch my rap, sleep with the grass, Teddy, quick with the Teddy. Nice. What song by another artist do I wish that I wrote? Somebody hand me my phone. I have a playlist. It says songs I wish I wrote first. Thanks, Yaya. Okay, songs I wish I wrote first. Drew Barrymore, SZA, Make Me Feel, Janelle Monáe, Bellyache, obviously Billie Eilish, R.E.M., Ariana Grande, EXO, Beyonce, Self Control, Frank Ocean, Hard Place, Her, Pink, Janelle Monáe, Issues, Julia Michaels, Evergreen, Yeba, Broken Clock, SZA, Hold Up, Beyonce, Love Galore, SZA, obviously Nights, Frank Ocean, Brutal, Olivia Rodrigo, Heather, Conan Gray, Shut Up, Ariana Grande, Point of View, Ariana Grande, Happier Than Ever, Billie Eilish, Jealousy, Jealousy, Better Off, Good Night and Go, The Other Side, Jasmine Sullivan, Camera Roll, Casey Musgraves, Slow Burn, Casey Musgraves, Don't Leave Me Lonely, but specifically the one version with the green that's Mark Ronson and Yeba. Some of the best riffs ever. Issues / Hold On, Teyana Taylor is one of her best songs, if not the best. Pilot Jones, Frank Ocean, Deja Vu, Olivia Rodrigo. And that is my songs I wish I wrote first playlist. So I have a few. The song I cannot stop playing right now is Casual by Chappell Roan. It's amazing. She literally made While You're Eating into a chorus. That's hot as My favorite song to listen to when I'm in love, anything that I would listen to when I'm sad, really. If I had to pick, Ivy by Frank Ocean, which is sad. And I don't like to listen to music when I'm sad because it makes me sadder. Like, I have intense enough emotions as it is. I don't need music to help. Like, trust me, I'm getting there on my own. A song that makes me want to get up and dance, I mean, there's so many. But, like, if I have to think back to, like, middle school RENEÉ, was, like, ho, in the sense of, like, I would go out, and without a doubt, I am shaking my ass, like, for sure. And so, a few things come to mind. A lot of, like, old, like, Chief Keef comes to mind, but specifically, like, all that ass in them jeans. What's that song called? She don't care, girl, the way you move it, got you, no hands. Without fail. But a recent, anything Flo Milli. I love Flo Milli. Shout out Flo Milli. Love her. My favorite song to listen to really, really loudly in the car. Oh, one night I got very depressed because I was leaving a session and I felt like I did a horrible job. And my dad really, really raised me on, like, Journey. And so I went through and which I never do this because I'm lazy. But, like, I left a session, it was like 10:30, which is not that late in hindsight, but for me that was like, I was done. And I was driving and I was on the 405 and I rolled all my windows down and I blasted, like, greatest hits of Journey. And I was, like, sobbing and I was like, God, I am the main character. That was it. That was hard. My go-to karaoke song is In Love with Another Man by Jasmine Sullivan. Funny you should bring it up. We're actually going to karaoke later. Me, Aaliyah, Leanne, and Tyler. Hopefully Adam will want to come with us, and I will be singing that song. What is my favorite throwback track? So Sick by Ne-Yo. I did just look up what year that came out, and I now know that it was before 2010. And I was emotional, even back then. My grandma is my biggest champion. This woman would, like, off someone for me. In this video, my mom is like doing my makeup with colored pencils, and she's like so sweet and like soft spoken. It's like, here you go, like everything's okay. And my dad, who is my best friend, comes over and is filming, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm literally going, we're playing makeup, go away! And then I like smile back, and then I start like giggling with my mom, but it is truly like a mood switch in under 2 seconds. And I'm like, you guys let this go on for 20 years without wondering if she should see someone? That was it. It was a cute ass kid. What was happening in that video was, you know how on Spotify they have the videos that run as your songs are playing, right? We needed videos for my songs, for my EP. I was like, let me just record myself like playing piano, and we'll just like speed it up and we'll slow some down, speed it up, like put it all in different like color palettes and whatever, and knock it up to all the songs. Then we sent it over. Everybody was like, no, we're not using this at all. And I put it on Instagram. This specific photo is where I found out a skill set, Photoshop. I've always been very into Photoshop. Let me just pull up an example. So Aaliyah and I love to go to Pilates, and so I photoshopped our heads on Hailey Bieber and Kendall Jenner, and this is us. I Photoshop a lot of things on a lot of people. Things you don't know about. This is a picture of me and Yaya. We were going to Starbucks. Well, first of all, she doesn't think I'm a good driver, and I was driving that day, and I remember she complimented my driving. I don't know. I just remember being very happy, and I was like, I'm with my bitch, like, going to Starbucks, like, hot. It was great. Oh my God, this is the best. So my grandma is my biggest champion, and I don't mean that in the sense that like people are like, oh, like my family just supports me so much. Like, no, this woman would like off someone for me. She like loves to interact with my fans also, so everybody knows her pretty well. I have a screenshot of her the other day posting my tour flyer before it went on sale, and she just posted it on her grid, and she was like, Taylor Swift is sold out, go to RENEÉ Rapp's concert instead. And that was it, and that is what she posted. And she always pitches me songs and pitches me things. Like, she's like, you have to write a song called Slay. And I'm like, God, you're right. God, you're so right. So I was like, well, I have to involve her in my campaign for tattoos. And so we stood out on the side of the road. She bodied, and we advertised for my single. And she's done it once again since. This is a message that I sent my mom, and as you'll see, there's a ton of emojis because I really like to lighten the mood after I've said something heinous. So I'm like, ah, oh my God, literally, how are you? I'm like, I couldn't be worse, but I'm checking in. What's new with you? So I was like, hey, just lost my like, had a panic attack, but how are things going on your end, hard eyes? Kissy face. You know? Like, I'm like, let's lighten the mood, lift the spirit. So I felt that that was appropriate. Thanks for watching. Bye, MTV.